Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here, Lance's Performance Chaperone, Mopars.com. Awkwardly moving some stuff to the side of the tripod here because we got ourselves a cool little tool haul. So, long story short, at work, there are some things I do that have become really redundant and not enjoyable, and that largely consists of lag screws. The way the majority of the motors come in, sometimes they ship vertically, sometimes they're horizontal. If they're horizontal, the way that the manufacturer started doing things is they shoot lag screws through small brackets. Now this varies based on the horsepower of the motor. Typically on the backside, picture if you will a vertical motor, horizontal. On the backside, I'm typically fine, right? You know, I've got like lag screw here, lag screw there. Every once in a while it's kicked off at a weird angle and it'll like hit the fin on the motor. For the most part though, I can get a deep socket and ratchet on there and spin it off. Coming around to the other side though, you've got like your open, you know, your picture your cylindrical motor drum here, and then if we flip the pallet around to the other side, we got the junction box. And for the life of me, this is something when they say, hey, you know, you want to come take a tour of the facility? The thing I think I would enjoy seeing the most is who it is that shoots these lag screws in and what they're using to shoot them, because there's so many angles. I know they don't put the junction box on after the fact. It's ridiculous. And I guess it was 2 Fridays ago, I was at work until about 9, and I'd wanted to come home and do some things I didn't get to, because I had to spend a lot of time. Sometimes, if you can get like a shallow socket in place, the half-inch drive, of course, you back out and you're into the junction box, and you can't really turn the lag screw by hand just yet, and so I literally have to go get a wrench to finish the job off. If you think, well, hey, you know, can't you use anything else? I could technically run an air hose, but it would be a total pain in the butt. I could probably pull a 50-footer and do it. But I'd have to do that, then I'd have to clean the air hose up, go put it back where it's supposed to be, all that stuff. And the biggest thing, though, you know, like with an impact, the impacts we have, I recently did buy an earthquake, very small, stubby one. But I don't even know if that, with the impact sockets we have, would fit. So it's just a bad situation, and I wanted to make my life easier. And what I went into Harbor Freight to do was purchase a battery-powered ratchet. That's right, I was finally going to cave in and do it. In part, Ridgid, which is what I'm invested in already with batteries. They don't ever seem to crank one out. And again, my little impacts, I didn't really think was going to get the job done there because it was just too bulky. So I go in there, they had them. I checked them out, and I'm like, man, you know, I think I'm going to go with the extended reach just to be safe. It's like $20 difference. And I thought, you know what, it's the last one. I'm just going to grab the extended reach. That way, in the event that the small one that saves me $20 doesn't get in, I've got that. Then if I decide to use this at home or something for wrenching, I've got the added benefit of a longer neck on the ratchet. So, I guess we should begin and say, where would you keep a battery-powered ratchet at Harbor Freight? Let's just throw some choices out there with A, the hand ratchets, kind of makes sense. B, with other battery-powered tools in the same line, which seems to make a little bit more sense than with hand ratchets. Or C, with air tools. If you said A or B, I would agree with you and could see where you're coming from. If you said C, you must work at Harbor Freight, because that's where it is. Literally, you go in, I know right where the battery-powered stuff is, I go there. And I cannot find the ratchet. And I'm like, where do they keep it? You know, like, okay, this is the impact over here, you know, and then we go all the way down. Is it on the end cap on this side to draw people in? No. So finally, in the opposite front corner of the store, there it was with, you guessed it, the air tools. Why? I couldn't tell you. So I had that ratchet. I was super happy. And then luckily one of the ladies came out. I don't know if she thought I was maybe stealing some things or was just inquisitive. But you tend to get that a lot, you know, when you work for a living. You know, you might be the nicest person in there, but you also could pass for a homeless guy. So people tend to think that you steal things. Target's really bad about that. They have a guy that'll follow you around, especially in hoodie season. And eventually they realize that you're just really nice and you're trying to find cinnamon applesauce, and you come in every other Wednesday. But hey, until they figure you out, you kind of get that profiling going on, right? So she was super nice, and she's like, oh, what do you got in there? And I said, oh, you know, just, you know, ratchet and some stuff. I'm trying to find the battery. She goes, oh, no. And super nice as could be, knew her stuff real well. Flat out just told me, hey, we don't have the batteries. We haven't had them for 2 months. And my question was like, okay, well, are they coming in soon? She got the manager lady, which I know from the gantry crane deal, and basically distribution doesn't even have them. It's a total crapshoot. They honestly don't know. And instead of selling me a Ratchet that I could not use, she was nice enough to alert me. So nearly bought the Ratchet just to have it in case it goes out of stock, but I thought, you know, man, if that battery's like turns out to be far, far away, that would be a stupid decision. So set it back down. And why are we here, you're asking yourself? Well, number one, wanted to get your feedback on where you would put the battery-powered Ratchets. That's honestly the most important thing. Number two, I got some brand new stuff, the least exciting of which is here. That's right. This may not look like much. They don't match. You can see we've got orange and green respectively, but these are brand new from US General. If you have one of their service cars in either color, or any color for that matter, they've got magnetic colored hooks, which, as you can see here, just holding like an air hose, or, you know, an electrical cord or cable, or if you want to run, you know, like a socket rail, whatever you want to do, 25-pound pull force, you're home free. The reason I bought these, truth be told, I wanted blue, you know, or like gray or black. I thought it would blend better. I actually do like these colors. But here's what happened. They didn't have blue. They only had one of each. And I didn't want the yellow one, so I took these two. And what am I going to do with them? Well, right now, what I thought they would be really good for, I'm going to put one on each side of the gantry crane, and then I'm going to take the chain hoist, and instead of just having them swing around, I'm going to use it to secure it. So that's that. I don't recall the price on these. But I will link to them, and again, non-marring finish. I don't even think we're going to take the time to open these. You should have a feel for them, but they do look pretty good. I think this might be a little bit more, you know, of a hemi orange out of the package. I could be wrong, but they should, in theory, match your US General service card. So, thought that was cool, and I have not seen anybody with them, so we're going to have pictures of them. But you're sitting there and you're like, okay, so what were you going with? Well, the title and the thumbnail have given it away, right? But I decided to go with Hercules, and here's why. Ridgid is what I picked when I first got into battery-powered tools, and the reason for that is based 110% on my love for their shop vac. I've used and abused that thing, wet and dry, dust and dirt like you would not believe, and I can't kill them. I do change the filters, but they're fantastic. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go with that. Plus, I do like orange. Also, Milwaukee and DeWalt, I use their corded stuff at work, and I wanted to do something different. So, as mentioned, if Ridgid had a Ratchet, you know, and it took the 18-volt batteries I have, I would have been home free. If it was a different profile like Milwaukee does with the cylindrical batteries everyone gripes about, you know, yeah, I'd had to have looked at it like, do I want the Ridgid, you know, 12-volt Ratchet with a new battery that I have to get a charger for and a battery, or do I want to try something new? Harbor Freight, you know, say what you will about them, you know, there's some things that aren't that great. There's some things that are actually really good, just as good as some of the cream of the crop name brand stuff, but for fractions of the price. And it's important that people understand that, right? There's some things you're probably not going to want to buy if you want it to last. There's other things that are surprisingly really good, and you save a ton of money. So that's kind of my logic here, right? So what I'm going to start with is the boring stuff, and that would be this. It's a charger. So they had a standalone charger, like a single slot for, I believe, 29-ish. And then I think this one was roughly, you know, not quite double the price, so a little under 60, I would assume. I've got the receipt here. Who am I kidding? Let's check it out. Magnets were $5.49 a piece. I also bought some Gorilla Glue, which I had to take to work, so we're not going to showcase it. It was the white kind. We'll see how that works tomorrow. But the charger was $59.99, like I was thinking. So the single one, again, $30. But my logic was, if I wind up with multiple tools and multiple batteries, which I probably will, I wanted to be able to have multiple batteries charging. So instead of buying, you know, one single, I thought, you know, I'm just going to get this as a bonus. It has dual USB ports, so if you've got it plugged in and your phone's going down, provided you got the cable, you can charge it. So the battery that I opted for, since they really didn't have many in the 20-volt line, let alone zero in the 12-volt line, is this guy right here. Now, this is a Hercules 20-volt. I sprung for the Big Daddy, the 50 amp hour. That's right. If you know, the 20 volt, if it was ratchet applicable, you know, this would be great, you know, for power and longevity, but I might, for lightweight, you know, typically you're dunking down with a ratchet as opposed to an impact, you know, weird hand positions. Probably would go with like the smaller battery, but I thought, you know what, batteries are sort of sketchy right now, there's material shortages, I'm going to go with this one and just kind of milk it. And then the plan is, I've got this guy ready to go for what I bought in down below that you're going to see shortly, but also I can charge it, and assuming the 12 volts come back in and I get the ratchet, I can have both of them going at the same time. If we wind up with a crud ton of 20 volt stuff, we can do that. If we wind up with multiple ratchets, this is just a good starting point or foundation, I believe. So price point on this battery, it's not the cheapest thing around, $64.99, but again, it was sort of their cream of the crop battery. Truth be told, I haven't really seen jack anything on Hercules. You know, it seems like some people were sent out some stuff a long time ago. I don't really keep tabs on it. I liked the color. I'm not going to lie, you know, sort of like Makita, you know, it's kind of a neat color. And since I was doing something different, I decided to go this route. So again, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And if you're thinking, well, hey, you didn't have the ratchet, so what did you do? Well, here's exactly what I did. I came in with this. It kind of seems stupid in retrospect, but this is going to keep me, like, literally when I go to work. Currently driving the Challenger every day, it's filthy. I was going to actually wash it tonight instead of doing this, but there's unknown road work apparently coming because they're closing off intersections and not telling anybody. So instead of wash it and have to drive through tar and rocks, I thought, you know, let's come out, take care of this, go inside, make a pizza, see the end of the Mavericks and Nets, right? So the reason I picked this up, though, is it redundant with my Ridgid stuff? Yes, but every single day in my passenger seat floorboard, I have the Ridgid deal because I never know when I'm going to have to uncrate something. I never know when I'm going to have to shoot screws. I shoot, you know, 14 by inch quarter stainless steel hex techs all the time. That's why I bought the spare blue Wiha deal, you know, little magnetic nut setter. And by the way, that does work really good with that stainless. But this is going to keep me from having to lug my own stuff. Granted, this is mine too. I haven't been paid back yet. But who knows? I may not. I might just be like, yeah, I kind of want to keep that. And, you know, I can use it and the Ridgid and cycle them in and out, whatever. But I went ahead, since I was there and I'd invested so much time looking for the ratchet, time picking out the charger, time grabbing the battery, and the way things are right now, assuming the 12 volt, which when I checked that night, they said it would be available maybe like around June online. I don't know. That's subject to change. I'm sure like mid-June, I would say. My thoughts were like, okay, what if there's a run on the 20 volt stuff, or, you know, there's shortages there, or whatever, you know, might happen. Maybe it just hasn't sold as well as a 12 volt. I don't know the story. I haven't kept tabs on their inventory. I wanted to go ahead and have this. And when you get any tool, any charger, and any battery, it doesn't matter if it's a dinky battery, doesn't matter if it's a solo charger, doesn't matter if it's the cheapest tool or the most expensive tool, the way Harbor Freight does this, you get a $25 discount off of the purchase price, right? So whether you want to just add all this stuff up and take 25 off, or you want to take a percentage off of the 3 items, you know, so a guy can't come in and exchange stuff and sort of screw you over, all you need to know is you get $25 off, right? So the other thing, this is a compact one. This is sort of like I think they have 2 of these. I think the third one's a screwdriver. Again, hadn't really invested a lot of time into researching it, you know. I was just going to go for the ratchet because I've never had a battery-powered ratchet, and I knew it would fit. This, I'm not sure it's going to fit. There's a chance it will, but it's more compact than my Ridgid, so I thought that was a perk, right? The other thing, being a hex impact driver, it gives me more versatility. If I want to drive screws, I can. If I want to put stuff, you know, like our Wiha magnetic nut setters, I can do that. If we want to come in any quarter drive impact bit I have, I'm home free. So shooting, you know, torque screws out of crates, whatever, this has me covered. And it's a little bit more versatile than just going to the screw route. Plus, I didn't think the price was that bad at $49. Yes, it's tool only, but assuming this thing lasts, I think we'll be doing just fine. Part number on this one, HC81B, if I remember correctly, when I compared it to the other. I think it's just this one has quite a bit more torque than that model. So The other thing I had seen as I was on the internet not too long ago, I'd seen this a while back, but then I saw it was on sale. Let me, where's my receipt? Over here. Currently this thing will run you $14.99. It's one of those like instant savings deals. And if I snake it down, you can see impact rated. You can see a drill and an impact. You can see something bent. Nice blue color. This is a Hercules almost 12-inch flexible extension with a bit holder. So I basically plug this end to end here, and assuming this thing, I mean, you can see what they're claiming. They say 180 degrees. So my logic is, if that's true, I can take this. This is going to work great, you know, for the backside screws. The two lag screws that are nestled under the junction box, which the bigger the motor, the more of a pain it is, okay? I'm not going to lie. Little junction box, not that bad. Big junction box, terrible. Nightmare. I'm there till 9 on a Friday type of a deal. So if this really does turn the corner at 180, I can plug this into this subcompact one, and I should be able to shoot the lag screws out. If it doesn't work that great, I kind of like it anyway, and I'll use it for other things, and hopefully I can find some functionality for this guy. I've already got the battery charger. I've got this for anything else we want to add on, and then I will, as soon as that stuff is available, pick up and go with their 12-volt ratchet, and I think I will stick with the extended reach for reasons I've mentioned here. Now, if this does actually work out fantastic, I could reconsider that, but I am kind of inclined to go with the extended reach and take it from there. So what I want to know from you before I cut and open all this stuff so I can take a better look at it is, have any of you used the Hercules line? If so, how long? Keep in mind, this hasn't been out, you know, for like years and years. There's no one that's going to say, hey, you know, last 5 years of my life, it's all I've used every day. You know, it's perfect. That's not going to happen. But if you've had it, how long have you had it? How has it held up? And most importantly, if you're somebody that, say, had Milwaukee stuff, you know, has DeWalt, Ridgid, whatever, you know, whatever your weapon of choice is, Makita, Ryobi, how does this compare in your opinion? Again, direct, first-hand impressions are the best here. Similarly, if you're in a shop setting, you know, your buddy's there and he's all Milwaukee, and, you know, you were Bauer or something, and you switch to Hercules, how does it compare? You know, is it a deal where it's like, man, that's just as good as mine, or hey, I kind of like that better? That's the information that would be beneficial and helpful to people. And that's what I would like to see. I have one more item that I want to show you, but we don't have space here on the bench, so what I'm going to do is open all of this. We might do this one together, I'm not sure. The rest of this, there's really not much to see. I'll walk you through it again, go over the prices one more time, take a look at the feature of the show, and then we'll come in and I'll show you the final item, so stay tuned. Oh yeah, that's right, went ahead, took it a step farther for you. We plugged the bad boy in. So, it lit up red. Hopefully that's not a problem. Sure, there's instruction manuals for that, but let's just wing it, shall we? So, most important thing here, battery 1, battery 2, USB 3, and USB 4, 1 and 2, however. All 4 ports, 2 batteries, 2 USBs, will charge simultaneously. So if you need to charge your big battery, you need to charge a 12-volt battery and a 20-volt, you need to charge your phone and a buddy's phone, wife's phone, whatever, you can do it. You can use these as well for like your rechargeable work lights, all that sort of a thing. So very nice that they went ahead and threw that in together for us. But as you can see from the label, Hercules 20-volt, 12-volt lithium-ion dual-port charger with USB. Red should indicate battery charging. I guess the green dashes battery charge will be solid. I'm assuming this is top and bottom. Don't hold me to that, bottom and top. We'll find out. But hot and cold delay here, and problem pack, I guess, is like constant flashing. We shall figure it out. Now, there's our USB ports. If I flip it around for you, did not come with screws, which was sort of disappointing. Again, I don't know how many of you mount these, how many of you hang them up, how many of you lay them flat, whatever you do. But it's conveniently 6 inches or 152.4 millimeters. There's all your technical specs. Charge only between 50 and 104, and allow pack to cool between charging. So that's about it. That's all I know. And the other thing I know is right here with our 20-volt battery. This guy, for a 5 amp hour, not that heavy. We can kind of get a feel for how it's going to, you know, connect and release and catch with the tool. There's a look at your terminals. Now check this out. You've got your fuel gauge here, your battery life, whatever you want to call it. 2 bars, which is not terrible. But let's take this sucker, we're going to throw it down, and I want you to pay attention to the LED lights with me, see what happens. Dun dun dun. I can't see it, you can't see it, so what's going on? I don't know, let's find out. Sweet. So it is as we expected, solid red and green. It's a shame that's not like mirrored exactly, but you know, that's going to indicate that it's charging. So there's not a problem with the battery pack. We're not exceeding temperatures. We're home free. This is something to note though. If you had a battery in both slots with the lights being there, if I had this, you know, like with my Ridgid stuff when I charge, I have it flat on the toolbox, you know, like in the hutch part, I would not be able to see the status indicator lights. A lot of times, you know, if I leave late at night, I might have forgotten I was charging a battery. I almost always have something plugged in charging when I'm out here, just to kind of maximize my time, if you will. But that is something to note, because a lot of you would do the same. So what you would have to do to remedy that is either A, you know, prop it up a little bit so you can kind of, you know, catch your eye with the flashing lights or the colors. B, mount it vertically, which would, in all honesty, be ideal in my opinion. Or C, you would have to orchestrate it either to the side or totally inverted, so you'd be able to do that. However, if you were to turn that around, then your USB ports are pointed towards the side or the back as well. So keep that in mind. This right here, I have not played with it, promise. I cut it out with the ballast tool SW knife, sat it down. I've not tried to move it. I've not done anything. I have not tested a single item with it. I just know this is how it feels in hand. So number one, it looks really nice, sort of like a blue anodized. It's also sort of beefy compared to a lot of the stuff we see. Chromed end there. Not quite sure why. We'll see how it holds up. But maybe it's just like a shiny silver anodized. I don't know. But let's check this out. This is sort of had that bend in the packaging, right? So I want to come in and see what it'll do. So there's a pretty good curve, right? Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm trying to, again, picture myself snaking around junction boxes at weird angles, and there's a chance it could work. There's a chance it doesn't, but again, it was 15 bucks, and I figured if it works for anything, it would be worthwhile. So this end is magnetic. Let's see, I guess this is the chuck portion here. So what we will do is, I guess, grab this first. We'll just go with the Wiha 1/2 inch. See what happens. Very strong seeming magnet. Okay, I finally got it to seat properly. So here it is with a magnetic nut setter from Wiha. Again, this is probably going to be far too long for me, but you get the idea. That's how it works. And then it's got a little bit of play in it, right? But I mean, it's seated, and that's what you need. So in order to get it out, we would pull down. Let me try that again with this guy, now that we sort of know. Yeah, now, okay, that's seated, so it is something we can do. The 49mm power bits from Wera, something like that might actually be a good fit here if that's what you're driving. Keep in mind, you know, if you wanted to do like sockets or something, you would go a different route. I think I'll have a better report on this for you once I'm able to use it and see if it works for me. What we're going to do now is, while this charges, slide it over, set this down, and let's just open it together, shall we? So, I'm going to come in and grab this thing. This is HC81B. It's our 20 volt 1/4 inch Hex Drive Impact. I gotta find the tape here. So, we'll actually go over some specs on this one for you. And again, I do leave timestamps down below if you didn't want to see any of that other stuff and you wanted to get right to this. But again, there it is in its packaging for the last time. Part number, again, basically a $50 tool. Features, let's see what they say. 4-pole motor delivers maximum performance and durability in a compact size. Variable speed with 1,500 inch-pounds. Oh, if you thought that was foot-pounds, you're in for a world of hurt, right? But 1,500 inch-pounds, covering a wide range of fastening applications. I don't do wood. I don't do lag screws. I don't know with what force they're shot in. This could be a total ridiculous fail. It could be a great addition. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. All metal gear construction built to withstand job site abuse. Bright LED light illuminates the work area. 1/4 inch hex chuck for quick changing bits. And that's about it, right? So max torque, 1,500 inch-pounds. Speed, 0 to 2,800 RPM. try to get that where you can see it. Impacts per minute 0 to 3200. Overall length 5 3/4, so pretty small. And net weight clocks in at a very, very feather-like 3 pounds. So let's see if we can get this sucker opened up. Excited to take a look at it, see how it's packed. It's our first Hercules tool after all. So we'll turn this around. I hear something rattling in there, not quite sure what it is. It's there. Oh, it's a belt clip. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. So everyone, are you a belt clip person or not? I'm not. Now, if I was doing something, you know, like a semi-permanent career, you know, like if I built fences for a living, I probably would be. But for what I do, every once in a while, but usually it's just kind of more in the way. So you do get a belt clip. That's what's going to rattle. You get your owner's manual. Who needs that? And then this is the tool. And I'm telling you, it's a little guy. And in store, I kind of got to, you know, grab it, see what I thought of it. And wasn't that bad, really. So it's got a real nice rubberized grip. I say that primarily from the standpoint of, you know, grip, control on the tool. Coming around, we got our forward and backward, which that's exactly what I'm used to with my Ridgid, so that's nice. I'm not a fan of like the little flippity-floppity switches. They just don't seem as robust to me. We've got the quick change mechanism there. Again, it's a unique color scheme, and I personally like it. There we've got our clip. You can see where the battery would shoot in. It's really about all there is to it, right? So let's come in with our Wiha quick change deal. Guess you want to see this too. We will stick it in place, lift up. Man, it's just so awkward with the tripod. Let me reposition myself. There we go. Gotta lift up farther is what we needed to do. So there that is, and to get it out, we lift up and pull, which again, kind of hard with the tripod in front of you. We'll go back with our orange Wiha deal. Again, watch this. When I lift up, that should just seat down like so. And there we go. So a little bit of play in it, but again, pretty much anything quarter drive we've got will work. We're going to come in and slide this guy out. I hate doing this to, you know, like not fully charged batteries, but this is solely for your enjoyment and entertainment. We're going to take this guy. It's a bulky battery, you know, the 5 amp hour, but we'll get longer life out of it. So, let's see here. I guess our RPM is very only based on trigger pressure, because that's something I don't see. But anyway, this is sort of the size of it. You know, here's my hand for comparison. So roughly the same size. Tool's a little bit bigger, especially with this battery. Without that, my hand is probably just a tad bigger. That said, we're going to drive forward. Let's see what we got. Well, to help, I guess we're not in the middle. Light trigger pressure. And we're going to go full throttle in 3, 2, 1. Not bad. Smooth. It's actually really quick. So again, you will be proportional here based on your trigger fingers. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and shoot this out if we can. If you don't own Wiha's magnetic nut setters, you are missing out. I'll tell you that. It looked like it had a decent amount of run out there. That would be my one concern. It is fairly long, and to be fair, I'm used to, you know, like torque settings on the top, so we'll see what we have here. Make sure I'm not neutral. Slow. Again, just kind of looking at the run out there, you know. Not going to be the end of the world, but, you know, that's something we'll want to keep tabs on, I guess. Again, for taking lag screws out, it really does not matter at all. But let's take this. This is a Hercules product with a Hercules product. And we're anchored in. This should be real interesting. You want to talk about run out. So I can't really fit the tool in the frame all the way, but we're going to try. Ooh, buddy. Yeah, that's going to get interesting. That'll put some wear on your wrist in a hurry. But picture a socket there. And let's see. It does seem to be working. I'm going to come in here. We'll go with orange just again for visibility. And because I have my 3/8 across the shop right now. The other 3/8 I keep in the bag all the time. So that's that story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, so check this out. let's say that I've got this cranked, okay, and for whatever reason, you know, like we can't get the tool here, but we can get this to snake down by the body of something and get to the fastener, right? So I'm assuming, I don't exactly know where the ideal place is to grab, but let's just pay attention to the white Wiha there and see how it turns. I'll be danged, it's working and it's not taking my arm off. So, again, will it work for the lag screws? I honestly don't know. My hope and dream is that it will, and if it does, that's just going to be awesome. But again, what I actually went in for was the Ratchet. Probably should have waited and gotten the done deal there, what I know would work for me. However, as I mentioned, I'd already like spent my time and effort, you know, like getting the battery, getting the charger, getting all this stuff set up. So I wanted to go ahead and pull the trigger there, and we did. So what I want to highlight now real quick, the LED is down here. It's not like around the chuck, you know, like in this position or anything like that. So check it out though, it looked pretty bright. Yeah, it's a good little light. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, look at that. You can easily see it lighting up there. So for 49 bucks for the tool, provided it lasts, you know, I feel like we did okay. The battery, again, this is my first foray with Hercules, my first foray with Harbor Freight battery powered anything, all right? I've had real good luck with their air tools. I've had good luck with a lot of their other stuff, you know, like kind of industrial type equipment, bench grinders, things like that. They don't ever get much fanfare, but I mean, I'm talking years and years out of. This is kind of, Hercules is sort of their cream of the crop, right? You know, if you have like your import, your, you know, expensive, and then your full Americana, you know, if you got Snap-on and Blue Point and then like knockoff stuff, it's sort of that tier, right? And I guess Bauer would be like the mid-range. It's been around a little longer. And then, you know, I guess, what, Chicago Electric, do they even have battery powered stuff? I don't know, but good, better, best, that seems to be how Harbor Freight does things, right? You know, so you've got like the really cheap stuff that'll get you through the job at hand, hopefully. You got the better stuff, costs a little bit more, but it's actually going to be able to do that job and then some more. And then you got the best that a lot of times is actually, you know, a pretty decent piece. So with this, I have no idea what to expect. I truly don't. I'm not going to pretend like I do. I'm not going to pretend like I don't. It's a crapshoot. It'll either be great or terrible or about average. It'll be one of those three things. And I do plan to invest in the Ratchet. That will be 12 volt. That opens me up. Again, I've got a battery for 20. I've got a battery for 12. If there's other things, maybe I love the Ratchet and I want the short one, we can go that route. The amount of money I invest in batteries and additional tools is largely going to be dependent on how this thing performs for me. So that's about that. Again, you do have the screw with your belt clip. It would shoot in here or the other side, whichever you prefer. So left hand, right hand, you're covered, nothing awkward. Don't have to switch up your holstering, you know. My main thing, if you've used Hercules products, I don't care if it's this, I don't care if it's a Ratchet, whatever. If you've used any of them, how are they doing? If you don't, what do you think of them? You know, is it something that you would pull that's kind of like me? Maybe you're established, you know, with your 18 volt insert brand X here, but you don't have the Ratchet and 12 volt stuff. You would have to go in and pick up 12 volt batteries, 12 volt chargers, you know, the tools. Is this something you would be willing to try? And again, that's kind of my thing. Also, true story, I'm weird, but how well this, and hopefully I get the Ratchet and the battery pretty soon. I could have had the Ratchet, I just couldn't run it, which kind of seems dumb. So if that comes in and this is held up and the Ratchet impresses me, I'm kind of using these as like a segue to see if I want to take a chance on the TIG welder. It's going to have to go on sale. But again, yes, I know, oh, just buy Miller. My MIG welder is Lincoln. I'm super happy with it. It's lasted a long time. There's some other, you know, cheap options. There's some other like mid-range options, but I'm almost, you know, I kind of wanted to give it a go. I debated it on the gantry crane, building one out of aluminum, and I was going to use that. The problem is I've never TIG welded, so I would have been teaching myself to TIG, and I don't know that the gantry crane is what you want to... You'd have real thick material, you know, and you can see your welds all the time. It's not going to like disappear in a chassis or something. But if they failed, that would be really bad. And there's no one to blame but yourself. So this is sort of kind of like my testing point. Like, okay, am I comfortable with their electronic stuff to take a plunge on, you know, a cheap good price on a TIG welder? Maybe so. And again, if any of you have used their new line of welders, let me know. Particularly TIG. I'm set in the MIG department. You know, I don't need any of that. I can flux core, whatever. But TIG I've never done, and it's something, I don't know how often I would do it, but I have some things I would do, and I think it might work for me, so, and save some money in the process. But with that said, that's kind of what we did. And I do have one more item, though. Silly me. Right here. There was an open container. I considered they only had one, and I thought, you know what? I think I'm more of like a zipper, closed case type of a guy. And so I got this. It's a Hercules 16-inch tool bag. There's not a lot to see. It's held up on the ride home. It's been in the shop floor and hadn't fallen apart. And I've lugged all of that stuff the whole time through the store, looking for the ratchet. And then back through when I was trying to find the glue. And out to the car. Like I said, it's had some weight in it. I put my camera in it on the way out here. 16-inch tool bag, heavy-duty durable stitching. It does actually seem to be decent. Typically with stuff like this, I'm not a seamstress. I'm not some material expert. But I can pick things up and I know, like, okay, that's going to fall apart. It's not worth $5. And then there's some things you're like, yeah, that's actually, not that bad. This, to me, felt that way. Obviously, time will tell. But we've got the large main compartment with 6 pockets, reinforced carrying handles, adjustable shoulder straps, super tough to tear resistant, and legendary performance. We'll have to see about that. But again, it's nothing crazy. It's just a situation where I thought, okay, if I'm going gun-ho and I'm going to take this to work, but I might want to bring it home, what do I need? And I thought, okay, I'm going to need my ratchet. I'm going to need the 12-volt battery. I'm going to need the 20-volt battery, and I'm going to need the impact. And then whatever else I want to fit in here, I can easily do. You do have pockets on the side. So like if you had USB cables, maybe you keep like an Astro, work light, or you got a Braun or something in here that you charge with the base. If I wanted to put a charger in here, I could. The way I do things currently, Ridgid, when I bought my like 2-pack deal, drill and driver, they gave you like a little lunchbox style container. I've used that for years now. And I keep a spare battery in there. I keep a lot of bits. I keep the magnetic nut setters, but I don't carry a charger. I charge the battery. Those Ridgid batteries for what I'm doing have been great. I'm not going to lug this around, but if this was a deal where I just love it, and I'm thinking, man, this ratchet's awesome, or, if I'm thinking, hey, my air ratchet's going out, and it's annoyingly loud all the time, no matter what you buy, I don't know, maybe we transition. We never really will. I'm sorry, I'm an air guy. That's what I prefer. They're cheap, they're dependable. As long as you oil them, they last a really long time. Tons and tons and tons of torque, which is what we need with rusty stuff. And, this has its time and place, in my opinion, but this is sort of like my gateway. This is my entry point into Hercules. It's my way of testing out Harbor Freight's modern electronics and batteries, seeing what I think of them, and if it's impressive, possibly investing, and hoping that I'm not getting a bad deal on a TIG welder, So, because you got to think, it's one of those deals, a Miller, yes, that's way, way different price range and everything, but even with Lincoln, you can get some that don't cost a whole lot more. The thing is, it's just like with air tools, outside of just like your select few, and I do mean a few, anything you buy, it might have a sticker and paint job, but I feel like the vast majority of that stuff is from the same factory. I went through expensive rivet guns years ago when I was right out of college. I was buying, Byler and expensive stuff, and then I buy really cheap ones, and they last longer, and they came with a set of jaws, spare set, and I get twice the life out of them because of that. And if you ever hold, I don't know, just pick 4 or 5 brands and go buy the same air tool, there's really not a lot of difference in them, and you'll see something that comes out and you think, oh, how innovative, that's why I want to go with this brand. And then you realize like someone else has had it 2 months already. They just don't advertise as well. And then in, another 3 to 6 weeks, you're going to see another company with the exact same seemingly groundbreaking, innovative product. Yeah, somebody's manufacturing them, and then, companies A, B, and C get them, put their color scheme, maybe upgrade them a little bit, maybe they don't, maybe they dumb them down, cheapen them out. But I feel like they all come from the same place. I could be mistaken. And like I said, there are some that, truly are built a little better. But for the most part, what the average guy goes out and picks up, or the average lady, snags to do something with, there's not a lot of difference between, the brands. And I'm wondering if that's sort of where we are here. Ridgid also did sour me. I bought their blower, not the dinky little compact job site blower thing, but like the real blower. That was a dud right out of the box. It was right when COVID was happening. I'd like ordered it in. I was super excited. The Black & Decker one died. And I just thought, man, I was real excited because I was gonna dry cars, but it sounds dumb, but I was gonna do it. And blow porches off, stuff like that, you know, when I mow. But I've never had anything that was just a complete lemon out of the box like that, and that was. And I didn't like how they handled it, really. And like I said, though, you know, the impact and the drill have been great. I use the impact way more than the drill, I'm not gonna lie there. But you know, it's one of those things. I'm happy with that stuff. The blower, no. I would never suggest anyone buy one of those from them. And maybe I have like a 1 in a million that's a dud, but it was a dud. I mean, a total dud. And I'm still pretty ticked about it, actually, if you can't tell. But with this stuff, I'm going in it, you know, with open arms, ready to embrace it, you know, and I'll also be able to turn those open arms into a fist if it sucks. So we shall see, though. And like I said, the 12-volt battery, I wish it would have been there because I would have just had the Ratchet, and then if I loved that, expand it out into other things. But it is what it is. And we're going to see how we like it. So got the bag, got the charger, got the big battery, got the compact impact, got this flexible thing that may or may not work for me, hoping it does. And we picked up the brand new super cool, I mean, look at that. It picked up my, my taped off mini Cobras even for a little bit. There we go. See? I'm not lying, and it's way over here. It's based off of that only. So got those for the gantry. They're going to look kind of weird, I'm not going to lie. They were actually out of the plain ones as well, which would have been a perfect aesthetic with that gray powder coat. But anyway, I'm going to quit rambling. Hopefully some of this interests you. Hopefully some of you are, you know, either going to join me on this adventure or have already done it and tell me, hey, that's actually not that bad. I think you're going to like it. Or, you know, maybe if it's terrible and you've had it and you've tried multiple tools and multiple batteries and chargers and they don't last, please tell me before I go and invest in like the Ratchet and some other things, you know, that would be appreciated too. But with that said, it's about 8:30. I'm going to try to get in and catch the end of the Mavs game and get my pizza started. Did not realize it was this late. Time flies when you're having fun. And I guess getting stuck at work because of construction drags it out too. But I'm going to get the battery charged, play around with this thing. If this works, I will let you know. I don't really film at work, you know, but I could try to take a picture or something. But I hope it does. And if it doesn't, I think the Ratchet will. But I'll try to use the snot out of this in the meantime, so I'll know if I want to buy the Ratchet or not. So, and also, if Ridgid would have just had one, you know, I probably wouldn't be here in the first place. But alas, they don't. So here we are. But with that said, thanks so much for watching. Again, timestamps down below, links down below. Do I make anything off of them? No, they're there solely for your convenience. So if you're like, I want to buy that stupid thing he got, I think it's going to work for me. It's 15 bucks. If you don't have a store nearby or you don't want to go in, whatever the case may be, order it. Again, I see nothing from that. None of this is sent out. I like go in and buy it and, you know, talk with the chicks that work there and all that stuff. So that said, I will put it into use immediately. We'll see what we think of it. LoneStarMopars.com is the website. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all three at Lone Star Mopars, whichever you prefer. And with that said, it's time for me to make some pizza and hopefully catch the Mavericks getting a win and distancing themselves farther from the play-in game. That's kind of some crazy stuff there. But that's another story for another day. Hope you all have a fantastic Saturday and weekend. And I'll catch you back here for more action from the shop. It's bonus time. There's our orange U.S. General hook, as you can see. Got the 2-ton here. It's going to hold that just fine. Basically just keeps it off the ground, which is super annoying. So we can kind of tailor that however we want to. Bonus number 2, what's on the line? What could it be? It's the green U.S. General hook. Got a clip. What do you think it's holding? Looks to be textile. Oh, what's that? Wera? Oh, so I'm not sure what that weighs. That's their half-inch drive impact set. 13 to 21, and it's holding it like a champ. So get on you, U.S. General. Again, this will hold another chain hoist chain off the ground, so that'll be nice. But just thought I'd update you, let you know that those things do actually work as intended. Kind of a color contrast, yes, but it gets the job done. So with that said, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.